What's up, locker nuts? Alright, we're coming today on our storage adventure to show you the really cool Star Wars memorabilia and other stuff that we got in this last locker. The only problem, okay, is that we grossly overpaid for it. We really did. And as it turned out, we actually got duped. This one was a setup, stage, fraud, baloney, okay? Terrible. So stay tuned. We're going to show you what happened, and I think you're going to like it. Here we go. Alright, today's pretty exciting. We've got 3 auctions going on right now in San Jose through Storage Treasures. And the first, all 3 are really interesting. So the first one that's up right now is this locker here. It's got 2 minutes left to bid. I bid $1,210. Now, that's the most money I've ever bid on a locker before. Pretty nerve-wracking, really. So I really want this one, and it's about to run out. They just bid $1,220. This particular item right here really caught my fancy. There's 3 of them listed right now on eBay for $600 each. This is Watto from Star Wars Episode 1. It's a life-size, which is about 3 feet tall. It sits up on a pedestal. Super cool. I read up on it, and it is a promotional that Pepsi did. They created those for in-store displays. Alright, now they're up to $1,370. Alright, the heck with it. I'm just going to go with my max. $1,510. Down within a minute, 54 seconds to see if we got this one. Here's a box which looks like could hold some value. Alright, boom. Got it. $1,490. That is exciting. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to get down there and get all this stuff. They give me 48 hours to clear it out. Alright, I'm in San Jose, just coming up to the exit. I must say, I'm quite excited. So, a little bit nervous too. Never spent this much on a storage locker before. Alright, just pop this open. First impressions are that it's a lot smaller than it looked in the photos. I'm looking in here. Yeah, it looks good. Nothing's jumping out first glance that I didn't see in the photo. But this is kind of interesting, this piece right here. Looks like a sluice box. I've got no clue on this. Don't know what that is. These are pretty wicked.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Alright, so far, not real happy. Mostly junky stuff, empty boxes, low value stuff. Let's hope these records got some value. I know almost nothing about records, so I will have to look all those up. These big boxes back here have got some mystery, so we'll see about those. But so far, those 4 boxes in the front, strikeouts. Alright, we'll keep going. Hey. Alright, I got all loaded.
Oh, good for you.
I left the door open, and the only thing I didn't do is sweep. Okay, it's not that dirty.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. All right, well, good luck.
I need the deposit.
Oh, I didn't check it. Did I?
Yeah.
This is gonna be. Have a good time.
Yeah, see you later.
Thanks for the Christmas present.
So, what was the deal with the person in the locker? Did you know them at all?
Not really. Just like rented, and then once you get rented here, you can start paying online. So.
Your prices are pretty good. I saw.
Yeah, and I've gone up on them since all that.
Because there's I've done probably about 40 of these, but this one I definitely felt like it was staged.
I don't know.
You know, like you remember I was saying like, oh, it looks like it was set up for a photo shoot, and it looked perfect, but maybe someone did that. But the boxes were empty. You know,
really?
big cardboard boxes in the back, empty. Yeah, I was just curious if you knew anything.
No, not much.
Yeah, I mean it's gambling, right?
It is.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good day. All right, well, went into that locker with a lot of excitement and a little bit of nervousness because of how much I spent. And you know what? That nervousness was well-founded. I've done about 40 lockers. I've gotten some pretty bad lockers, but when I lose on lockers, it's because the dump fees heated up. This is also the first time I've ever come across a locker that was like just flat out staged. I mean, this was staged, and I should have known because the photos looked too good to be true. Well, they didn't look too good to be true. I mean, they just looked good. I think I got pulled in this one because the items I could see I knew had value. It was the items I couldn't see that I was hoping were there. Who puts empty bins, like one bin on a shelf, or one, big empty box in the back, on its end, in like with the open end down and the taped end up, and you could see the tape in the photos. I mean, it's like they must have known. So Watto, what's the deal with that locker? Huh? Empty boxes in the back? What's the deal with that? Come on, man. That wasn't right. That's not fair. Empty bins, really a rock collection? Rocks, not rock and roll, rocks. What do you got to say about that? A lot of the videos that I watch with guys that do this talk a lot about staying positive, and I like watching their videos because of that, because they're positive people. They're you can tell they're very upbeat. They have a positive take on things, and I don't always tend to be that way. In fact, I'm usually not that way. But I think that is the way to do life in general, to be positive, to look at things positively. And when bad things happen, don't let it get you down. I wonder if we can use the commuter lane. What do you think, Watto? All right, I didn't have much time to go through the contents of the locker. I've got everything unloaded into my garage. Now I'm rushing down to return the U-Haul, and then I gotta go pick my kid up from school. So, but also it's my son's birthday today. Griffin, happy birthday, he's 21. Got one nice surprise so far. So those Air Jordans that I've found, they're in really nice shape. I found a similar size 12 in identical shape for $100. It went to auction and closed for $177. I just looked. So, Stormtrooper, how was school today?
It was good.
Anything exciting happen?
Well, not really.
Did you kill any rebel scum?
Just a few.
Get any fights on the playground?
Just 100. Not as good as yesterday, though.
No? Did
No.
you get 200 yesterday?
No, 1,000.
1,000?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, we got this really nice Elvis book, and it's got some really, really cool photos and stories about Elvis. It's beautifully done and good quality. The book itself is not in the best shape. It's clean and not too damaged, but The spine is a little bit loose. The king here, there's some missing rhinestones. Actually, there's quite a few missing rhinestones. Right here we've got a talking Jar Jar Binks alarm clock.
Mr. So tired. It's been a long day, eh? Mr. thinks it's a bedtime.
So when you hit that, what it does actually is...
Good night, sir. Tomorrow we'll
Wow.
begin with the morning luncheon. Oh, moi, I love yours.
Still going. He's actually vibrating, so that's why I wanted to say, push that button, he actually starts vibrating. Okay, good. It turns it off. What do we got here?
Sorry.
Time is 10 p.m.
He just did that on his own.
It's creepy.
He's an alarm clock and he'll actually wake you up in the morning.
Which is creepy.
It is creepy. And he's annoying. Just to let you know. Kind of like you.
No,
You don't get up in the
I
morning.
was gonna say kind of like you.
No. Yeah, kind of like me
Yeah,
having to
yeah.
wake you up. Alright, another thing that we got here is this stormtrooper.
Move out. Let's go.
Different things that he says.
Put down your weapons. Sir, resistance fighters. We're taking you into custody.
My wife brought the dog in the other night. The dog got spooked by this guy who's sitting right by her cage. She got spooked by him. And we had him inside the house for a party the other night, and it's a great conversation piece because he's 4 feet tall. Here's some vintage magazines, I think from the late 50s or early 60s. Byte magazine. This is actually pretty cool because it's February 1984. Byte magazine. It's when Apple launched the first Macintosh. And I sure remember that because I got one. 14 years old. Here's a couple old how to draw books. Super, super cool. Vintage. And you can tell when you just feel this thing that this is old. The paper's old. It's nice, thick, good quality paper. And beautiful books, really. Twin Earths magazines. It's kind of like a comic book. And I think I've got 13 or so of these. These were published in the early 90s. And they're a republishing of newspaper comic strips from the 50s. And it was all science fiction related. Power Ranger toys from the late 90s, made by Bandai. All of them are in very rough shape. Like this guy's missing a head, unless the head pops out. I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't think so. They're all missing something or other. So over here I've got a model. Box is thrashed. The model has not been put together. A Disneyland 50th anniversary commemorative plate. Boom. That's the Eye of Mara, which is something featured in the Indiana Jones ride, and that's what it was for. I have no way of testing this because we no longer have a landline and haven't for years. This thing's kind of cool. This is actually a gold sluice box for gold mining. I think the water comes down here, goes in here, out there. I might be wrong. New, these are selling for about $225. I listed this one for $75 this morning. What you got there? What you got there?
I don't know.
It's merchandise. Dropping off the FedEx, okay? Put it right here.
Energy.
Alright. You know this kid? That kid?
No, it's just that, like, I looked back at him,
Yeah?
and he was walking over, and he was, like, touching the box.
Oh, really? Well, cool. Alright, an update on the record collection. Someone came and purchased almost the entire collection from me. I listed it for $150, and someone came and basically he wanted everything except for the opera box sets. He didn't want those, he didn't even want to take them, so I said, fine, I'll give him the thrift store. So I got a stack of them back there. But these records I did pull out for myself. Grateful Dead, really, really nice cover. And I think the record's just as good a quality. I mean, it's an outstanding shape. Pink Floyd here, also very good shape. The record's actually in better shape than the cover. Cover's in nice shape. Al Goodman and his orchestra. The Monkees. Monkey's not that valuable, but I want to listen to that. That's a throwback for me. I listened to that as a kid. Peter and the Wolf, another of my personal favorites. Madonna. No, that's not my thing. Really good shape, so I'm going to try to sell that one. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. This, I think, has a little bit of value. OMD, Secret, it's a single. Rolling Stones, this one is in rough shape, and there's actually 2 records in there. Blues Brothers, that's just cool. Cat Stevens, Buddha and the Chocolate Box. This one actually does have some value, but the reason why I kept it is because the artwork on this thing is just gorgeous. So I wanted to listen to it and see what this record sounds like, because and this artwork on the sleeve here, very, very interesting. It's beautiful. I mean, this is the art of vinyl right here.
Stop.
Say hi.
Stop. The camera on its side. Yeah, you can't film it that way.
Oh, okay.
You need to restart it.
All right, everyone, take 2. The girls did not approve of my videoing style. So today we're back at the dump with the girls on our last load from our latest locker, and they are super excited and stoked. Girls, tell us, are you excited about being at the dump?
No.
No, well, how do you feel?
Stinky.
Stinky, yeah. Daddy's just about finishing it up because it's a really small load.
It's awesome.
It's awesome,
Not
totally
really.
awesome. Woohoo! Tell me how you really feel, girls.
Stinky.
Yep, so straight from their mouths here.
All right, I'm sitting here next to Watto, who is by far the most interesting and valuable thing that I got out of this locker. He's got these little fibers that are supposedly hand inserted in, which looks like a scruffy beard. It's very realistic. So far, everyone who's seen him has been mostly grossed out about this. It gives it a very realistic look. His clothes, this is like a faux leather, but it is fabric. This leather straps. This is like a harder plastic right here. This is a flexible plastic. As you can see, it's got a little give in it. He's pretty much set in that position, which is fine. The pedestal needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Watto badge, and then the emblem back here for Pepsi. A lot of detail. I mean, this guy looks good. It is very cool. I like it. So I flat out got duped on this one. It was staged. I'm kicking myself for spending so much money and getting pulled into it. But this Watto, he was just too interesting, too luring, and I had to have it. I've heard from other guys in this business that you pay for what you see, you do not pay for what you don't see, and I totally paid for what I didn't see. I was hoping in those boxes, in those bins, that there was more good stuff like the stuff I saw, and there wasn't. I mean, there's empty boxes, empty bins. It's completely a dupe. I overpaid. If I paid $200 or $300 for that locker, I'd be totally happy, totally excited. Luckily, they didn't charge me tax. I still don't know why. I have a feeling that the facility may have been in on it, that this may have been their scam. I paid them in cash. You know, let's remember that these facilities, when they collect the auction money, it's all in cash. So whether or not it gets reported, I don't know. It could very well be that the facility is the one who pulled this scam, and that they staged it, or maybe they were in on it with some, so-called tenant. Definitely learned a lesson. I learned a lesson on every single locker. This one was no different, only this time, this is the type of lessons that I'd prefer not to learn, but I did. At the end of my videos, I usually like to sum up the profit. I don't want to because it's too depressing. No, seriously, I don't want to on this one because after about 8 or 9 days, I've only sold 4 items. And that's mostly because I've been pricing these items at pretty much what they're valued at. And if I want to sell stuff quick, I usually price it much lower. I'm going to do a follow-up video, so let's take this as part 1. I'll do a part 2 video to summarize kind of like what I sold and where I'm at, and maybe what I made, but more likely what I lost, and hopefully it won't be that much. So as always, please subscribe and like the video, okay? If you subscribe especially, please subscribe. When you do, you learn about new content, and spoiler alert, I've got new content already in the works. I bought a locker the other day. This one was $20, okay? So maybe I learned my lesson from this locker. Probably didn't. So I've got another video coming up. It'll be here soon. If you subscribe, you'll get an alert. I appreciate you hanging in there, making it to the end. God bless you. Good luck, and see you next time. You're messing me up, Grace. So why don't you jump in here and just say that for me?
My hair.
What about your hair? There's nothing wrong with it?
What? Look at it.
No? Okay, so what do I say? Really cool stuff in this video. What are you looking at? That's so funny. It's not funny. Come on, this is go time, it's show time. Example, I mean, Watto's what we went in. What?
Nothing. Just looking at you.
You're messing me up, Grace. Pooper? Okay, please be quiet. You're totally distracting me now. I can't think of what I have to say. So... Shh. Alright, what's behind the mask? Let's see the big unveiling. It's Deborah.
Hi! Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. That way you'll learn about new content coming your way. Thanks for watching!
Oh. Stinking creepy.
Stinking creepy? Don't do that?
Oh. Look, because you're a weirdo.
It's funny though. People do stuff that's funny. Weird. Huh?
Okay, here, let me put it this way. A grown man doing a voice for a mannequin head.
It's good stuff. People pay for that.